Hi, hello, and welcome. Welcome to another Marty's Minute MENitations. I'm Marty, and this is our space to MENitate. That's right, MENitate, as in men and meditate. Marty likes to put them together to make MENitate, because he believes that we need to save the sacred masculine from our toxic modern world, because the government and society try to keep us down. They try to prevent us from ascending to our higher selves. So Marty made some MENitations, okay, to get us along the way. If you're a new listener, thank you for joining. Thank you for being brave and courageous and taking this great step to journey with me. If you're an old listener, thanks for coming back. Marty kept your seat warm, kept the space comfortable, as he always does. So get cozy, right? Maybe introduce yourself to the other folks around, the new people, right? That's what the comment section is for, right? To strike up a conversation. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Marty's Minute MENitations, right? We've been around for a little while. What can you expect when you're joining Marty's Minute MENitations? But that's what the comments are for. Also, apparently, to comment on Marty's imperfections. But Marty appreciates this visual apparatus, okay? He likes to do the things on the YouTube now, right? He used to just do, podcast episodes, just an oral experience. But now he wants to connect with you face to face, right? He believes that this world is trying to divide us, trying to keep us apart, trying to prevent us from looking into each other's eyes. But Marty's looking in your eyes right now. He's acknowledging you and your eyes. Look into Marty's eyes. Look into my eyes, all right? I'm looking in yours. You're looking in mine. I'm sending you my energy and spirit. Do you feel it? Send me yours. One way you can send your spirit and your energy is by clicking on that subscribe button and that notification bell. This way you know when Marty releases all his MENitations and other little tidbits that he likes to put up on YouTube, right? So welcome. Welcome to this space. With all that being said, let's put all that aside and let's begin today's episode of Marty's Minute MENitations. What's going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is happening in our world, in our country, in our hearts? What's going on in there? The world is crazy these days. There's a lot of fear and anxiety going around. Marty recognizes that. Maybe you've been feeling that way. Been feeling anxious, afraid. That's okay. Our world is a scary and anxious place. Maybe you found yourself in your bedroom, looking up at your ceiling for a very long time going, what's going on? What is going on? What's going on? What's happening, right? Who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? What do I matter? What is matter? Is it all in the mind? What is the mind? Can I trust my mind? Can I trust my mind? Or is it the thing that's getting in the way of my happiness, my joy, my clarity? What's going on with my mind? What if the government is brain soiling my mind? What if all this chaos, right, for the past couple years is just the government brain soiling me, making me think a certain way? Should I trust it then? Should I even be listening to it? How can I turn my mind off? If it's just an enemy to me, right? Then it's not going to protect my individuality, who I am. It's not going to help me foster myself as a person. Maybe I shouldn't trust my mind. Why am I listening to my mind? Maybe my mind is plotting something against me, right? Maybe it's making me dependent on certain entities in the world. What if the government has been brain soiling you so that you can become dependent on? Oh boy, here we go. Marty's talking about the government again, right? It was conspiracy theories. It's not a conspiracy theory. Marty's not a conspiracy theorist. So if you look at Marty and you go, here's another conspiracy theorist, right? Well, that's not true, okay? Marty is well grounded in reality, all right? He just believes that the government is trying to brain soil all of us. Why? Why would the government want to do that, Marty? Mr. Conspiracy Theorist over here. To make us dependent on them. All this while, we're scared, we're afraid. So what do? Mommy, right? I'm scared, I'm afraid. I can't move forward without you. I need your help. And then Mother Government, she comes, she picks you up, she holds you in her arms, pats you on the back, and in low, dulcet tones says, "It's all right, baby. It's going to be okay." But we're grown-ups now. We're grown men, grown women, grown non-gender conforming individuals, being held by a grown woman, right? Not even grown. She's far older, right? She's all wrinkly and saggy with her wrinkled, saggy arms and face, right? No, I know a lot of people are going to be offended by that, right? Marty respects his elders. Marty loves his elders. Marty believes that his elders are very wise. He respects that wisdom, okay? So I don't want anybody saying, Marty doesn't like old people. And we'll all be there, all right? Marty knows it. We'll all get there. And you may be afraid of that time, right? You might be afraid of getting older. It's a scary thing, right? To think that you could work out day and night and take care of yourself and do all the self-care routines that you want. And then all of a sudden, you're starting to see gray hairs and you're starting to see yourself balding. And then you've got wrinkles and then you can't get up very well in the morning. And then all of a sudden you go on the toilet and, it's not as good anymore. What is going on, right? What is going on? That's the question Marty has. So anyway, this old woman is holding you in her arms, right? A grown individual. Do you feel that way sometimes? Like a grown person that's so afraid and anxious they can't take care of themselves? So you look up to Mother Government? Marty thinks we're all brain soiled in that way. And we can't go back. We can't go back in time. But when you're a grown-up in the arms of your elder Mother Government, right? And your Mother Government takes out her teat because she knows you're hungry. And you're happy to take you're happy to take her milk. You're happy to take Mother Government's milk. And you put that teat in your mouth, that sagging, wrinkled teat, and you suckle. And there's no milk there. It's dry. It's all dried up. Because she's older now. She doesn't have those kinds of glands anymore. They don't operate that way, right? Marty, you're going a little too far. I understand. I acknowledge your feelings. I take a breath in. You can take a breath with me. And out. Take a breath in. And out. Now, back to the question. What is going on? Maybe the government wants us to become dependent. So we look at it as our Mother Government. And she holds you in her arms. Right? While you're a grown man with, a suit and a tie? One of those hats from the 50s, chiseled jaw. Right? It's a weird image to have a grown man in a suit and a tie and a hat from the 50s and chiseled jaw being held by an old woman. But maybe you feel that way. Or an old papa, right? An old papa. Right? Wrinkled old papa. Of course, then the teat image doesn't work as well. In fact, it's a little stranger. Anyway, what's going on? What is going on in our world? And we can't go back. We can't go back in time. Marty, of course we can't go back in time, you big dummy. What do you think we've got? We think we've got a time machine or something? No. That's not what Marty means. What Marty's trying to say is that we can't go back to the way we were, to the mind we had before all this happened. Let me see if I could paint this picture for you, right? Imagine that you're in a relationship. You've been in this relationship for years. You fall in love with this person. You can't imagine yourself without this person. You do everything together. You live together. You have a very special existence together. You feel like your own personhood is based off of this person. You are nothing without this person. And then one Monday night, you're getting ready to do your yoga together. Because every Monday night, you do yoga together. That's what you do. You put on some Krishna Das, right? You light some incense, you light some candles, you roll out your yoga mats, you face each other, because that's what you like to do. You like to face each other, so that when you're in the midst of warrior pose and you're in the heat and the sweat is running down your face, you could look into each other's eyes for guidance, right? You could look into their soul and watch your partner ascend into nirvana together, right? You could be together on that. That's why you do it. But this Monday night, she says she doesn't want to look in your eyes. You start to worry. You start to feel cold and alone. Why doesn't she want to look in my eyes? Am I not attractive to her anymore? Does she need some space? But you go along with your yoga and you're in the heat of the bridge pose, right? You're sweating. You feel the heat. You feel uncertainty coming from her. And all of a sudden she blurts out, "I don't love you anymore." Well, then what? What are you supposed to do then? Supposed to find a new life? Rediscover what it's like to be on your own? That's scary. That's really scary. It's really hard. You can't go back. You can't go back to that. That's what Marty means when he says, you can't go back. Right? We can't go back to what it was before. So what's going on? Where are we right now in this moment? Ask yourself, how do you feel in this moment? Afraid? Anxious? Uncertain? Correct Marty if he's wrong, but all these feelings start to create a new environment for people. People are afraid to leave their homes now. It's like they're afraid to see the light, like in that movie, right? Those what are those creatures that they can't see the light? The light's bad for them, right? They can't they're not allowed to. What is it? What is that movie? It's a movie from like the 80s. And there's these creatures, and there's like a furry little guy. He's like the good guy, but he's one of the bad guys. But he's not a bad guy. But he's like of them, but he can't. What is it? What is that movie? This is going to bug Marty. This is really going to bug Marty. What is it? I think the character's name is Gizmo. Gizmo. The character, the good guy little creature's named Gizmo, right? Well, if you know the movie that Marty's talking about, you could write it down in the comments section. That's what the comments are for. Including discussing Marty's nose in negative ways. So what is going on? What is going on in this world? If you're feeling fear and anxiety and afraid to go out into the light, not only are we afraid of a virus, but we're afraid of people. We've turned people into the virus. We are afraid of people. That doesn't sound very sacred. It doesn't sound very loving or compassionate, does it? It doesn't sound like we're fighting back with our hearts. So how do we go back to that moment? How do we move forward while going back to trusting people, being okay with people, not seeing everyone as a threat? So for today's MENitation, Marty wants us to rediscover our bravery and courage as we enter out back into the world and try to make things normal again. Take a breath in and out and in and out. Close your eyes as long as you aren't operating any heavy machinery or driving a car. Take another breath in and out. And for a moment, just focus on your breathing. Listen as you inhale and exhale. Listen to this space. Listen to the music, the sounds. Just let them be there. Inhale and exhale. Focus on the breathing. And I want you to imagine that you're standing at a doorway. You can see outside. The only thing that separates you from the outside is just this doorway, this portal, this space. It feels like a barrier, something protective, but really, you're already outside. You're connected to that energy, to that space. Breathe in and out. Maybe you look out into this outside space and you see threats. Maybe even just thinking about going outside makes you anxious. makes you afraid? What do you see out there that scares you? What do you see out there that makes you frightened? What do you see out there that keeps you inside? You are brave and courageous. You are strong. If you see something out there that makes you anxious, that makes you afraid, I want you to imagine it's just a little kitten. It's just a little kitten, little fuzzy little kitten, little furry guy, right? Coming up to you. You can pet him. He nuzzles your leg, right? He's purring. You could look down at that thing. I used to be afraid of that thing. You're looking out to the outside. Maybe you see multiple threats, multiple scary things. They're not dangerous. Something else made you believe that it was dangerous. But is it? Maybe you see some other people out there waving to you. Hey, come on out, right? You're going, ho ho, I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that trick again. Right? I don't trust you. Why would you want me to come outside? Could only be for a bad thing, right? No. Someone else made you believe that that was dangerous, that those people are dangerous. You are brave and courageous. Say that to yourself. I am brave and courageous. There is nothing to be afraid of. Say it again. I am brave and courageous, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Take a breath in and out. I am brave and courageous, and there is nothing to be afraid of. See that outside again. The blue sky, the clouds, green grass, welcoming faces. Try to see those people, not as viruses, but as human beings, as people you can approach, you can speak to, you can shake their hand, you can embrace them. Maybe you could just sit in silence and stare into each other's eyes. After all, we haven't been able to do that for a while, have we? Sit across from each other, look into each other's eyes, and just be thankful that we're here, together. Take a breath in and out. You are brave and courageous, and there's nothing to be afraid of. So take a step outside. Welcome the new. Don't be afraid, because anything that comes your way, you can handle it with love, with compassion, with your heart. Are you ready to take that step? Take a breath in and out. Marty believes that you're ready. Thank you for joining me for this MENitation, for the MENitation to commence this third cycle. We're going to have a great time this cycle. Marty just wanted to welcome you in, ask you to walk out the door, take a breath, and accept people again. If you enjoyed this meditation, please consider becoming a monthly donor on Patreon. $3 a month, that's all Marty asks. If you don't like a commitment, that's okay. Marty understands. That's why he has a PayPal account and a Buy Me a Coffee account. All the links will be in the description. And until next time, Marty will be here, waiting, ready to meditate.